Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to hop on here for a few. I had some things that have been bothering me for a long time today. Hold on. Sorry. I'm having some troubles with my phone. I've had some stuff trouble me for the last couple of weeks. I tried to actually do a video yesterday. Total flop. I'm having trouble with my phone and all sorts of stuff, but I wanted to hop on here tonight for just a little while, and I wanted to just talk about some things. Listening to the pastor that I went to see this last weekend, he made a very valid point about growth. Sometimes you have to lose some things to grow. Just like in farming, when you go to plant a crop, you got to till the soil. So there's loss there. So sometimes you got to till the soil. You got to lose some things out of your life to grow. Sometimes you're going to outgrow things that you never thought you would. Sometimes you're going to spiritually outgrow people, and places, and things. And I believe that all of us, whether we want to or not, are going to grow. And with that comes growing pains. Sometimes we grow slow, sometimes we grow fast, but you should always have growth. As a Christian, we should always grow. Now, I have been going through some pains here lately, and I think it has been growing pains. For God to get me to a certain point, a certain place, at a certain time, to say the certain things that I need to say, certain things that I need to do. Now, not always are we going to say and do the right things, even if God puts us in the right spot. But He put some words in my heart today that I needed. And one of them is growth. If we are not growing, we're not living the Christian faith properly. That being said, if we grow, and we grow beyond something spiritually, and we know it, and we still stay in that place, with that person, place, or thing, because we feel obligated, we're in the wrong spot. Because there are times, if you look all throughout the New Testament, Paul never stayed in one place. And some of the people he put in his heads over the churches where he was at, they did not stay in the same place. They grew beyond that. And we need to be willing and able to grow beyond what we think we should. We should be willing to let God grow us as big as He wants, or as small as He wants. Some of us have great big ambitions and some of us don't. But I can tell you, Peter didn't have very big ambitions whenever he was sitting in that boat. He never thought he was going to turn the world upside down for Jesus. I guarantee it. John and James, same way. I mean, Matthew was a tax collector. Luke was a doctor. I mean, we have all these things and all this evidence. These people grew beyond what they were to something more. And that's what Christ wants to do with us, is grow us into something more. Something greater than what we are or what we think we are. Some people never really grow spiritually because they are stuck. They're stuck in the flesh, and they're not wanting to grow. I'll be right honest with you. I've told God, I don't want this. I don't like the pain that I've been going through. I don't. But I have to thank Him for it, because it is helping me grow. I had a conversation today that I never thought I would have. But it was a necessary conversation. I have been in prayer about things that I didn't think I was going to pray about. I have really, truly grown overnight. Because last night I was a mess. I mean, a jacked up mess. But today, I'm still jacked up, but God's growing me. I'm like a bonsai tree. He keeps bending and breaking things to get me going the right direction and where I need to be. And sometimes it's hard to see that. Sometimes it's hard to see that He's got to break us in certain areas to get us going the right direction. Sometimes we will allow sin to keep us from growing. Contaminants in the soil. But Peter talks about growth a lot. 2 Peter 2 talks about the milk. Let's get on the meat and let's grow. Chapter 3, he says, grow in grace and by the wisdom of Jesus. Sometimes we think, well, this is where I'm supposed to be because this is what is good. But then God throws a monkey wrench in there. He says, do you really think this is what I want you to do? So then we start getting confused. Oh my goodness. Do we get confused? God's not the author of confusion. He's not. God will tell you exactly what you want to know. He's been telling me. It's been rough. Because I couldn't necessarily hear Him, because I had so many things I was dealing with mentally that I didn't want to grow. I didn't want this pain. God says it's for the right reasons. I'm growing you this direction for the right reasons. So here we are, folks. We're growing. We're hurting. But you know what? We're still growing. And I want everybody within the sound of my voice to grow in the grace and the knowledge of Jesus Christ. Grow. Outgrow where you're at. You can do it. I'm telling you right now, there are things and people in your life that you are going to outgrow. Some of them you've already outgrown, but you're still holding on. It's time to let go of those things. And start living and let God grow you. It's going to be tough sometimes, folks. It's going to take some loss in your life for you to grow to the potential that you have. It may be letting go of some sins. It may be letting go of addiction. It may be letting go of a family. I mean, Family's important, but you can outgrow your family spiritually. You should love God so much that you're willing to follow Him, even if it does. And I'm not talking about your spouse or anything like that, folks. Please don't misquote me or misunderstand. There are relationships in your life that you have outgrown, that you're still holding on to, that you need to let go and throw away. Let God grow you the direction you're supposed to grow. I have been blessed with many things in my life. And although having my heart broke and dealing with things emotionally is not something that most people would consider a blessing, it was still growing. And although I'm not 100%, I know what God told me today. And I'm going to grow. And I pray that all of you do too. Just a short message today. God loves you, and so do I.